Who's got it better than us?
Your home for the best sports coverage in Utah. You're listening to Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone. Win big this Friday with Free Ticket Friday. This Friday, you can win tickets to Dierks Bentley, the Broken Branches Tour, coming to Utah First Credit Union Amphitheater on July 31st. Get your tickets now at livenation.com or listen to the KSL Sports Zone all day on Friday for your chance to win. We're going to talk to Bob Casper here momentarily. In fact, he's ready to go. So let's talk a little golf. Go ahead and hit it, Christian.
This Open Championship update is brought to you by Mountain Land Supply, Zions Bank, Black Desert Resort, Hoops Vision, and Siegfried and Jensen. And now, Real Golf Radio's Bob Casper.
His appearance also brought to you by Mountain America Credit Union. You hear him every Saturday morning on Real Golf Radio, and they do an amazing job covering all the majors for us. He's the one and only Bob Casper. What's going on, Bob?
Hey, boys. How you doing?
Bob, do you
Another major championship week.
Do you have a tradition of how you watch this with the odd tee times locally?
Well, you know, it's interesting. It's going to be on. It's going to start being on tonight at 11:30 p.m. So I'll probably watch for a couple hours, then make sure I'm recording it, and then go to sleep, and then come back and pick it back up. So, but it's normally a pretty long day of golf, and it's going to be awesome. This year is going to be really, really cool because it's at Royal Portrush in Ireland and in Northern Ireland, and the weather's not going to be good for the tournament days. There's going to be rain. There's going to be wind. So it's going to be a true links golf course test in an Open Championship.
Who do you like this week, Bob?
Oh, my. Rory's played extremely well there. He holds the course record at 61. Scottie's, played the Scottish Open last week, so he's kind of, on pace for being a little bit more comfortable with links golf. Rory finished second last week. It's another good thing. Tommy Fleetwood is another one because he finished second the last time it was played here, which was about 6 or 7 years ago. Some breakout guys like Ludwig Oberg or Sepp Straka. There's so many that can play well in these types of conditions or have played well in these types of conditions and on these types of golf courses. But, there's a lot of little quirky things that happen. If you get on the bad side of the weather with your tee time, it could cause you to miss the cut. But if the weather stays the same throughout the day or the first 2 days, for everybody, then it's more fair. But you get good bounces, you get really bad bounces in an Open Championship. Pot bunkers, you got to drive the ball well, that kind of thing. So there's a lot that goes into this one that's going to be fun to watch.
Bob, this has been a weird year for major winners. Rory wins and feels like the monkey is off his back, and then doesn't play particularly well. Scottie wins, and then this week he says being the number one golfer in the world is not particularly fulfilling as a lifestyle. And then out of nowhere, J.J. Spawn jumps up and kind of dominates a tournament from Thursday to Sunday. What have you made of the tournament winners, and what does that mean about, do we need to see anything happen this weekend?
Well, like you said, Rory gets the career Grand Slam, and huge milestone in his career, probably what he wanted to accomplish most in his career, and he's been able to do that. Now Rory's task is figuring how to get up and get excited about playing and how many more majors or how many more tournaments he's going to win. Scottie Scheffler, like you said, now he's got 2 of the 4 with 2 Masters and a PGA Championship. And like you said yesterday, winning and the enthusiasm and excitement of winning is fleeting. It's 2 to 5 minutes long, and then you've got to then you've got to move on. And he said, as far as his heart is concerned, deep down in his heart, that's not what matters most to him. What matters most to him is being a father and his relationship with his family and stuff like that. So, but he is absolutely committed to the process of competing and having the ability and the opportunity to be the number one player in the world and play professional golf. And then you got J.J. Spaun, who's played phenomenal golf all this year, lost to Rory at the Players' Championship, but turns around and makes that 64-foot putt on the final hole to win the U.S. Open there at Oakmont. Oakmont was kind of an outlier. There were a lot of guys that could win there and new first-time winners. J.J. Spaun happened to be the one that eclipsed that. So, but I think this one is going to be interesting because it's going to require a lot of luck. Rory, the last time they played it here, he hit out of bounds on the first hole and ended up missing the cut in the tournament. Shane Lowry from Northern Ireland and going on to win. So I think Rory has something to prove to himself. He feels a little bit more comfortable. I just think it's really going to be a fun shootout, and I expect somebody in the top 10 to 15 players in the world to probably win it.
I was so turned off by Scheffler's comments. I really was.
Well, you don't care about being a good father.
You are the best at the world's best occupation.
Right.
You are living the freaking dream, and you don't feel fulfilled, and so you're going to complain about it. And then you tell me that you love your family. Congratulations, pal. God, what makes you so special?
I like the moment of vulnerability.
What a bozo.
Jake, you got to understand this guy. This guy is a huge man of faith, and his family means everything to him.
I love my kids too, Bob.
He does feel fulfilled in what he's able to accomplish in golf, but it is not the most important thing to him in his life.
Well, I'm glad he's not a sociopath. Bob, thank goodness.
How did your dad deal with his success? Seriously, how did your dad deal with it and balance it?
Well, it was interesting. My dad didn't play the British Open all that much. The first time he played it was in 1969, 12 years after he turned professional, okay? Because he could stay home, he could play, and he could make money, and he could support his family. Jack Nicklaus told his family that he would never play more than 2 weeks in a row and that he would be at his kids' basketball games and football games and stuff like that. Even when he was playing in tournaments, he would jump on a plane and fly home. So each one of them has a different way that they react to it and what it means to them. And, my dad was a big family man. And Jack was a big family man. Scottie's going to be a big family man. Jordan Spieth just had his third child this last week. All these guys, even though they're young, they're starting to have families, and they're starting to figure out what family life means to them and how to weave that into life and be elite or the best player in the world.
I'll tell you this, Bob. I've seen that documentary Netflix thing, and I've seen how these guys live. And I don't know if I would be fulfilled by that lifestyle, but I'll tell you what. I'd love to try, Bob, and if I did try, I certainly wouldn't complain about it. Oh, this isn't very fulfilling. And then tell me that you love your family. Congratulations. What do you want, a medal? All right. Bob, you're the best. We love
Bob.
you. We love your show. We love all your coverage. Thank you, Bob.
Appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon.
There you go. The great Bob Casper.
He's one of 11.
Kids?
Billy had.
Yeah.
11 kids.
So cool. Bob, honestly, Bob and Brian are both great. Love both those guys, but Bob's awesome.
I kind of wonder if some of this family blowback is a recognition that Tiger sacrificed everything for golf, right?
Yeah,
maybe he wasn't willing to sacrifice.
Well, and his
things,
dad ruined his family to get him there.
Yeah, right.
I
I'm
mean,
sure. I wonder if that is all kind of a reflection of how happy is Tiger. I don't know.
I think it's a subtle shot at Rory. Didn't Rory just almost go through a divorce last year?
Yeah. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was an interesting comment.
It came off as ungrateful to me.
I understand why you would feel that way. I don't think that was his intention.
And there are literally millions of people, millions and millions of people that would rather be spending their time with their family than doing their job.
Well-
But they find a way to find fulfillment in all of it. And I'll give you, not to go off on a rant, but I'll give you an example with me. Do you think I love working 90 to 100 nights a night where I'm away from my family?
Right.
No.
Your dad worked on the road quite a bit,
My
right?
dad traveled a ton when I was a kid. But you know what? I love hanging out with Tim. I love hanging out with Jamil. I love my job. I love doing it. And I find fulfillment in it, even though it requires me to be separate from my children.
And it does
I am
provide for
grateful
them.
for it.
Yeah,
and I'm
it'll-
grateful to provide for them.
Yeah.
And you
I'm
know
with
what?
you.
You know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to tell everybody like I get nothing out of this show. I just work, and I think like, what is the point of it all? That just sounds that sounds like somebody who has the privilege to have that opinion. And then it felt like publicity to me by saying, I get way more fulfillment out of my family and my kids. Congratulations.
Yeah. As
Honestly,
do we all.
As
Yeah.
do we all. And
Right.
if you don't, then you're a psycho.
Yeah.
And you know what? There was some psycho in Tiger. So if you want to separate yourself and go, well, I'm not a psycho like Tiger, fine.
Yeah.
But it came off as so self-righteous to me, and I was so offended by it. Like, well, I'm the best golfer in the world, and I travel to all these gorgeous places every week, making millions of dollars to provide this extreme lifestyle for my family. But,
Yeah.
man, I don't get anything out of it.
Right. And the truth is, he could retire today, never work another day in his life, and be fine.
Yeah, he really, it's a real luxury to have that
keeps
opinion.
chasing the dragon.
So why are you doing it then?
Yeah.
Then why
Right.
don't you retire today?
You could
Why
literally
are you
stop
doing it
today, never work another day in your life.
And then I'm so irritated because everybody's celebrating him today, like he's spouting wisdom like Homer in ancient Greece or something. And I was like, that's the most irritating opinion I've ever heard.
I think that's fair.
All right, stay tuned. Jake and Ben, more next. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.